صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد عجل. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والمرسلات عرفا فالعاصفات عصفا والناشرات نشرا فالفارقات فرقا فالملقيات ذكرا عذرا أو نذرا إنما توعدون لواقع فإذا النجوم طمست وإذا السماء فرجت وإذا السماء فرجت وإذا الجبال نصفت وإذا الرسل أقتت لأي يوم أجلت ليوم الفصل وما أدراك ما يوم الفصل ويل يومئذ للمكذبين ألم نهلك الأولين ثم نتبعهم الآخرين كذلك نفعل بالمجرمين ويل يومئذ للمكذبين ألم نخلقكم من ماء مهين فجعلناه في قرار مكين إلى قدر معلوم فقدرنا فنعم القادرون ويل يومئذ للمكذبين ألم نجعل الأرض كفاتا أحياء وأمواتا وجعلنا فيها رواسي شامخات وأسقيناكم ماء فراتا ويل يومئذ للمكذبين انطلقوا إلى ما كنتم به تكذبون انطلقوا إلى ظل ذي 3 شعب لا ظليل ولا يغني من اللهب إنها ترمي بشرر كالقصر كأنه جمالة صفر ويل يومئذ للمكذبين ويل يومئذ للمكذبين هذا يوم لا ينطقون ولا يؤذن لهم فيعتذرون ويل يومئذ للمكذبين هذا يوم الفصل جمعناكم والأولين فإن كان لكم كيد فكيدون ويل يومئذ للمكذبين إن المتقين في ظلال وعيون وفواكه مما يشتهون كلوا واشربوا هنيئا بما كنتم تعملون إن كذلك نجزي المحسنين ويل يومئذ للمكذبين كلوا وتمتعوا قليلا إنكم مجرمون ويل يومئذ للمكذبين وإذا قيل لهم اركعوا لا يركعون ويل يومئذ للمكذبين فبأي حديث بعده يؤمنون صدق الله العلي العظيم. اللهم صل على فاتحة. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم رب شهر رمضان الذي أنزلت فيه القرآن وافترضت على عبادك فيه الصيام، صل على محمد وآل محمد وارزقني حج بيتك الحرام في عامي هذا وفي كل عام، واغفر لي تلك الذنوب العظام فإنه لا يغفرها غيرك يا رحمن يا علام. وصل على محمد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم إني أفتتح الثناء بحمدك وأنت مسدد للصواب بمنك، وأيقنت أنك أنت أرحم الراحمين في موضع العفو والرحمة، وأشد المعاقبين في موضع النكال والنقمة، وأعظم المتجبرين في موضع الكبرياء والعظمة. اللهم أذنت لي في دعائك ومسألتك، فاسمع يا سميع مدحتي، وأجب يا رحيم دعوتي، وأقل يا غفور عثرتي. فكم يا إلهي من كربة قد فرجتها، وهموم قد كشفتها، وعثرة قد أقلتها، ورحمة قد نشرتها، وحلقة بلاء قد فككتها. الحمد لله الذي لم يتخذ صاحبة ولا ولدا، ولم يكن له شريك في الملك، ولم يكن له ولي من الذل، وكبره تكبيرا. وأكبر. الحمد لله بجميع محامده كلها، على جميع نعمه كلها. الحمد لله الذي لا مضاد له في ملكه، ولا منازع له في أمره. الحمد لله الذي لا شريك له في خلقه، ولا شبيه له في عظمته. الحمد لله الفاشي في الخلق أمره، وحمده الظاهر بالكرم مجده، الباسط بالجود يده، الذي لا تنقص خزائنه ولا تزيده كثرة العطاء إلا جودا وكرما، إنه هو العزيز الوهاب. اللهم إني أسألك قليلا من كثير، مع حاجة بي إليه عظيمة، وغناك عنه قديم، وهو عندي كثير، وهو عليك سهل يسير. اللهم إن عفوك عن ذنبي، وتجاوزك عن خطيئتي، وصفحك عن ظلمي، وسترك على قبيح عملي، وحلمك عن كثير جرمي، عندما كان من خطئي وعمدي، أطمعني في أن أسألك ما لا أستوجبه منك، الذي رزقتني من رحمتك، وأريتني من قدرتك، وعرفتني من إجابتك، فسرت أدعوك آمنا، وأسألك مستأنسا لا خائفا ولا وجلا، مدلا عليك فيما قصدت فيه إليك، فإن أبطى عني عتبت بجهلي عليك، ولعل الذي أبطى عني هو خير لي لعلمك بعاقبة الأمور. فلم أر مولا كريما، فلم أر مولا كريما أصبر على عبد لئيم منك علي. يا ربي إنك تدعوني فأولي عنك، وتتحبب إلي فأتبغض إليك، وتتودد إلي فلا أقبل منك، كأن لي التطول عليك، فلم يمنعك ذلك من الرحمة لي والإحسان إلي والتفضل علي بجودك وكرمك. فارحم عبدك الجاهل وجد عليه بفضل إحسانك، إنك جواد كريم. الحمد لله مالك الملك مجري الفلك مسخر الرياح فالق الإصباح ديان الدين رب العالمين. الحمد لله على حلمه بعد علمه، والحمد لله على عفوه بعد قدرته، والحمد لله على طول أناته في غضبه، وهو قادر على ما يريد. الحمد لله خالق الخلق باسط الرزق فالق الإصباح ذي الجلال والإكرام والفضل والإنعام، الذي بعد فلا يرى وقرب فشهد النجوى تبارك وتعالى. الحمد لله الذي ليس له منازع يعادله، ولا شبيه يشاكله، ولا ظهير يعاضده. قهر بعزته الأعزة وتواضع لعظمته العظمى، فبلغ بقدرته ما يشاء. الحمد لله الذي يجيبني حين أناديه، ويستر علي كل عورة وأنا عاصي، ويعظم النعمة علي فلا أجازيه. فكم من موهبة هنية قد عطاني، وعظيمة مخوفة قد كفاني، وبهجة مونقة قد وراني، فأثني عليه حامدا واذكره مسبحا. الحمد لله الذي لا يهتك حجابه، ولا يغلق بابه، ولا يرد سائله، ولا يخيب آمله. الحمد لله الذي يؤمن الخائفين وينجي الصالحين، ويرفع المستضعفين، ويدع المستكبرين، ويهلك ملوكا ويستخلف آخرين. والحمد لله قاسم الجبارين مبير الظالمين مدرك الهاربين نكال الظالمين صريخ المستصرخين موضع حاجات الطالبين معتمد المؤمنين. الحمد لله الذي من خشيته ترعد السماء وسكانها، وترجف الأرض وعمارها، وتموج البحار ومن يسبح في غمراتها. الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا، وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله. الحمد لله الذي يخلق ولم يخلق، ويرزق ولا يرزق، ويطعم ولا يطعم، ويميت الأحياء ويحيي الموتى، وهو حي لا يموت، بيده الخير، وهو على كل شيء قدير. اللهم صل على محمد عبدك ورسولك وأمينك وصفيك وحبيبك وخيرتك من خلقك وحافظ سرك ومبلغ رسالاتك، أفضل وأحسن وأجمل وأكمل وأذكى وأنمى وأطيب وأطهر وأسنى وأكثر ما صليت وباركت وترحمت وتحننت وسلمت على أحد من عبادك وأنبيائك ورسلك وصفوتك وأهل الكرامة عليك من خلقك. اللهم وصل على علي أمير المؤمنين ووسي رسول رب العالمين، عبدك ووليك وأخي رسولك وحجتك على خلقك وآيتك الكبرى والنبأ العظيم. وصل على الصديقة الطاهرة فاطمة سيدة النساء العالمين. وصل على سبتي الرحمة وإمامي الهدى الحسن والحسين سيدي شباب أهل الجنة. وصل على أئمة المسلمين علي بن الحسين ومحمد بن علي وجعفر بن محمد وموسى بن جعفر وعلي بن موسى ومحمد بن علي وعلي بن محمد والحسن بن علي والخلف الهادي المهدي، حججك على عبادك وأمنائك في بلادك، صلاة كثيرة دائمة. اللهم وصل على ولي أمرك القائم المؤمل والعدل المنتظر، وحفه بملائكتك المقربين، وأيده بروح القدس يا رب العالمين. اللهم اجعله الداعي إلى كتابك والقائم بدينك، استخلفه في الأرض كما استخلفت الذين من قبله، مكن له دينه الذي ارتضيته له، أبدله من بعد خوفه أمنا، يعبدك لا يشرك بك شيئا. اللهم أعذه وعاذذ به، وانصره وانتصر به، وانصره نصرا عضيدا، وافتح له فتحا يسيرا، واجعل له من لدنك سلطانا نصيرا. اللهم أظهر به دينك والسنة نبيك حتى لا يستخفيا بشيء من الحق مخافة أحد من الخلق. اللهم إنا نرغب إليك في دولة كريمة تعز بها الإسلام وأهله، وتذل بها النفاق وأهله، وتجعلنا فيها من الدعاة إلى طاعتك والقادة إلى سبيلك، وترزقنا بها كرامة الدنيا والآخرة. اللهم ما عرفتنا من الحق فحملناه، وما قصرنا عنه فبلغناه. اللهم المم به شعثنا، واشعب به صدعنا، وارتق به فتقنا، وكثر به قلتنا، وعازز به ذلتنا، وأغني به عائلتنا دائلنا، واغض به عن مغرمنا، واجبر به فقرنا، وسد به خلتنا، ويسر به عسرنا، وبيد به وجوهنا، وفك به أسرنا، وأنجح به طلبتنا، وأنجز به مواعيدنا، واستجب به دعوتنا، وعاتنا به سؤلنا، وبلغنا به من الدنيا والآخرة آمالنا، وعاتنا به فوق رغبتنا يا خير المسؤولين وأوسع المعطين. اشفي به صدورنا، وأذهب به غيظ قلوبنا، واهدنا به لما اختلف فيه من الحق بإذنك، إنك تهدي من تشاء إلى صراط مستقيم. وانصرنا به على عدوك وعدونا إله الحق. آمين. اللهم إنا نشكو إليك فقد نبينا صلواتك عليه وآله، وغيبة ولينا، وكثرة عدونا، وقلة عددنا، وشدة الفتن بنا، وتظاهر الزمان علينا. فصل على محمد وآله، وعن على ذلك بفتح منك تعجله، وبضر تكشفه، ونصر تعزه، وسلطان حق تظهره، ورحمة منك تجللناها، وعافية منك تلبسناها، برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم برحمتك في الصالحين فأدخلنا، وفي عليين فارفعنا، وبكأس من معين من عين سلسبيل فاسقنا، ومن الحور العين برحمتك فزوجنا، ومن الولدان المخلدين كأنهم لؤلؤ مكنون فأخدمنا، ومن ثمار الجنة ولحوم الطير فأطعمنا، ومن ثياب السندس والحرير والاستبرق فألبسنا، وليلة القدر، وحج بيتك الحرام، وقتلا في سبيلك فوفق لنا، وصالح الدعاء والمسألة فاستجب لنا، وإذا جمعت الأولين والآخرين يوم القيامة فارحمنا، وبراءة من النار فاكتب لنا، وفي جهنم فلا تغلنا، وفي عذابك وهوانك فلا تبتلنا، ومن الذقوم والضريع فلا تدعمنا، ومع الشياطين فلا تجعلنا، وفي النار على وجوهنا فلا تكببنا، ومن ثياب النار وسرابيل القطران فلا تلبسنا، ومن كل سوء يا لا إله إلا أنت، بحق لا إله إلا أنت فنجنا. اللهم إني أسألك أن تجعل فيما تقضي وتقدر من الأمر المحتوم في الأمر الحكيم، من القضاء الذي لا يرد ولا يبدل، أن تكتبني من حجاج بيتك الحرام المبرور حجهم، المشكور سعيهم، المغفور ذنوبهم، المكفر عن سيئاتهم، وأن تجعل فيما تقضي تقضي وتقدر، أن تطيل عمري في خير وعافية، وتوسع في رزقي، وتجعلني ممن تنتصر به لدينك، ولا تستبدل بي غيري. أعوذ بجلال وجهك الكريم أن ينقضي عني شهر رمضان، أو يطلع الفجر من ليلتي هذه، ولك قبلي تبعة أو ذنب تعذبني عليه. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. إلهي وقف السائلون ببابك، ولاذ الفقراء بجنابك، ووقفت سفينة المساكين على ساحل بحر جودك وكرمك، يرجون الجواز إلى ساحة رحمتك ونعمتك. إلهي إن كنت لا ترحم في هذا الشهر الشريف إلا لمن أخلص لك في صيامه وقيامه، فمن للمذنب المقصر إذا غرق في بحر ذنوبه وآثامه. إلهي إن كنت لا ترحم إلا المطيعين، فمن للعاصين، وإن كنت لا تقبل إلا من العاملين، فمن للمقصرين. إلهي ربح الصائمون، وفاز القائمون، ونجى المخلصون، ونحن عبيدك المذنبون، فارحمنا برحمتك، وعاتقنا من النار بعفوك يا كريم يا أرحم الراحمين. وصلى الله على محمد وآله الطاهرين. اللهم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا علي يا عظيم يا غفور يا رحيم، أنت رب العظيم الذي ليس كمثله شيء، وهو السميع البصير. وهذا شهر عظمته وكرمته وشرفته وفضلته على الشهور، وهو شهر الذي فرضت صيامه علي، وهو شهر رمضان الذي أنزلت فيه القرآن هدى للناس وبينات من الهدى والفرقان، وجعلت فيه ليلة القدر وجعلتها خيرا من 1000 شهر. فيا ذا المن ولا يمن عليك، من علي بفكاك رقبتي من النار في من تمن عليه، وادخلني الجنة برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم يا كاشف الكرب والبلوى، يا منتهى كل شكوى، يا الله 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 يا الله. اللهم ادخل على أهل القبور السرور، اللهم أغني كل فقير، اللهم اشبع كل جائع، اللهم اكسو كل عريان، اللهم اقض دين كل مدين، اللهم فرج عن كل مكروب، اللهم رد كل غريب، اللهم فك كل أسير، اللهم أصلح كل فاسد من أمور المسلمين، اللهم اشفي كل مريض بحق مريض كربلاء زين العابدين، اللهم اشفي كل مريض، اللهم سد فقرنا بغناك، اللهم غير سوء حالنا بحسن حالك، اللهم اقض عنا الدين وأغننا من الفقر، إنك على كل شيء قدير. الفاتحة.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم إني أسألك وأتوجه إليك بنبيك نبي الرحمة محمد صلى الله عليه وآله. يا أبا القاسم يا رسول الله، يا إمام الرحمة، يا سيدنا ومولانا، إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا. يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله. يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله. يا أبا الحسن يا أمير المؤمنين يا علي بن أبي طالب، يا حجة الله على خلقه، يا سيدنا ومولانا، إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا. يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله. يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله. يا فاطمة الزهراء يا بنت محمد يا قرة عين الرسول، يا سيدتنا ومولاتنا، إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا. يا وجيهة عند الله اشفعي لنا عند الله. يا وجيهة عند الله اشفعي لنا عند الله. يا أبا محمد يا حسن بن علي أيها المجتبى يا ابن رسول الله، يا حجة الله على خلقه، يا سيدنا ومولانا، إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا. يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله. يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله. يا أبا عبد الله يا حسين بن علي أيها الشهيد يا ابن رسول الله، يا حجة الله على خلقه، يا سيدنا ومولانا، إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا. يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله. يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله. يا أبا الحسن يا علي بن الحسين يا زين العابدين يا ابن رسول الله، يا حجة الله على خلقه، يا سيدنا ومولانا، إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا. يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله. يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله. يا أبا جعفر يا محمد بن علي أيها الباقر يا ابن رسول الله، يا حجة الله على خلقه، يا سيدنا ومولانا، إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا. يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله. يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله. يا أبا عبد الله يا جعفر بن محمد أيها الصادق يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله. يا أبا الحسن يا موسى بن جعفر أيها الكاظم ويا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله. يا أبا الحسن يا علي بن موسى أيها الرضا يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله. يا أبا جعفرين يا محمد بن علي أيها التقي الجواد يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله. يا أبا الحسن يا علي بن محمد أيها الهادي النقي يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله. يا أبا محمد يا حسن بن علي أيها الزكي العسكري يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله. يا وصي الحسن والخلف يا وصي الحسن والخلف الحجة أيها القائم المنتظر المهدي يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله. يا سادتي وموالي، إني توجهت بكم أئمتي وعدتي ليوم فقري وحاجتي إلى الله، وتوسلت بكم إلى الله، واستشفعت بكم إلى الله، فاشفعوا لي عند الله، واستنقذوني من ذنوبي عند الله، فإنكم وسيلتي إلى الله، وبحبكم وبقربكم أرجو نجاة من الله، فكونوا عند الله رجائي. يا سادتي يا أولياء الله، صلى الله عليهم أجمعين، ولعن الله أعداء الله ظالميهم من الأولين والآخرين، آمين يا رب العالمين. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. الفاتحة.
صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. Assalamu alaikum, dear brothers and sisters. أعظم الله أجورنا وأجوركم بذكر استشهاد الإمام الأمير المؤمنين علي بن أبي طالب عليه أفضل الصلاة والسلام. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. Alhamdulillah, brothers and sisters, we've been gathering over here to offer our condolences to the Prophet and his blessed progeny, to the Imam of our time, Ajjalallahu Farajahu Sharif, to convey our condolences and extending these condolences to all the brothers and sisters around the globe who are marking this tragic event in history, which has been noted according to the Marsiya that we know, Tahaddamat Wallahi Arkan al-Huda, that indeed the pillars of guidance have been demolished. And then he continues in the Marsiya that indeed the best of Allah's creation was killed by the Ashq al-Ashqiya, who was the hardest or the harshest of those people, the Ashq al-Ashqiya. May Allah accept all these offerings from all of us, inshallah. Just a few announcements, brothers and sisters, that inshallah today, alhamdulillah, we started this gathering at 7:15 today with the recitation of the holy word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the prescribed supplications for this month, and the tawassul dua, where we did the tasal with tawassul towards the a'immah in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Inshallah, today we'll have our speaker for today, Sayyid Ali. And just a brief biography about our speaker tonight, that he had received his Bachelor's in Commerce in Marketing in 2010 from the York University, Toronto. And then he went on to work as an internet marketer for a few agencies in Toronto, and eventually as an in-house internet marketer for CAA, Ontario. He moved to the seminary in Qom in November 2012, and he completed his undergraduate Islamic studies in January 2018. He intends on beginning his postgraduate degree in Qom al-Muqaddasa in September 2018. Concurrently, he is pursuing a master's in Islamic studies from the Islamic College of England, where he is finishing his final thesis titled The Principle of Laws. The principle of laws are subordinate to benefits and harms in Shia legal theory and its implication in non-ritualistic law. And he also has been an active member who blogs also on iqraonline.net. So inshallah, if brothers or sisters, the link had been sent out to the community as well. Inshallah, they would like more information. The Sayyid is present amongst us. Inshallah, we pray that as he intends to go for further education and join the seminary, inshallah, may Allah keep him successful in these endeavors in his life. And he continues to strive through and continues to serve the dar of Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam, and inshallah he's successful in this world and the hereafter. Let us recite a loud salawat for the Sayyid. Allahumma. The other announcement is inshallah regarding the event. So after this majlis, after the iftar, we will be gathering inshallah after a short break that for the amal of Laylatul Qadr. And inshallah, we'll go on with those, starting with the Tarika Amal and then followed by the Amal that have been prescribed specifically for this night. And inshallah, if there's a willingness by the brothers and sisters to stay behind for the recitation of one of these prescribed du'as, inshallah, we can do so as well. On Thursday, June 7th, the program will start at 7:45. So just make sure that you take note of that time. The program will start at 7:45 with Dua Kumail, Dua Iftitah, and then inshallah we'll have the majlis that day by Sheikh Salim Bhimji on the importance of Laylatul Qadr. On Friday, June 8th, Salatul Jum'ah will take place over here at the IHS at 1:20 p.m. led by Sheikh Salim Bhimji. Aloud Salawat Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad. The other announcement is regarding a call of donation that was made by the IHS, and that call for donation are for the orphans and the victims of terrorism in Iraq. As we know that all those things, all of that environment, those tribulations those people of Iraq had to face, and after all that difficult time, and even now, there are many children who were forced to live on the streets, were forced to beg, sell items on the streets so that they can make their living. So the IHS has taken the initiative, alhamdulillah, they have provided a call for donation for brothers and sisters who would like to donate towards this cause. And as we know, it has also been prescribed in our daily affairs to give charity, and also in these nights of Laylatul Qadr. So if any brothers and sisters would like to make a donation towards them, they can either do it in person over here. Sultan Uncle over here is present over here, so they can make these donations towards this cause through either Sultan Uncle over here, or inshallah you'll have the opportunity on Thursday as well to make this donation. As I've been told, we have the time till June 7th, inshallah, to make any donations towards this cause. Or if you're in the neighborhood and would like to pass through the office hours, you can also do so. You can make donations either through coming in person and making the donation in the office, or I guess you can also give a call and make donations, and you can make payments later, inshallah, as well. And yes, and tax receipts for all your donations will also be provided. Allah salawat Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Just a few poetic verses. As we know, these are indeed the days where we mark the martyrdom of Emir. Just a few poetic verses where the poet says, and this is in Urdu, where indeed, O people who are fasting, indeed these days are no less than a qiyamah. They're a very difficult time. रोज़ेदारों क़यामत के दिन हैं, रोज़ेदारों क़यामत के दिन हैं, इब्ने मुल्जिम ने हैदर को मारा, रोज़ेदारों क़यामत के दिन हैं, हमसे छुटता है मौला हमारा, हमसे छुटता है मौला हमारा, रोज़ेदारों क़यामत के दिन हैं। सुनी कब्र रसूल खुदा है, घर में ज़हरा के मातम बपा है, सुनी कब्र रसूल खुदा है, घर में ज़हरा के मातम बपा है, खाक उड़ाता है हैदर का कुंबा, रोज़ेदारों क़यामत के दिन हैं। आले अहमद पे आफत है आई, बेकसों पे यतीमी है छाई, आले अहमद पे आफत है आई, बेकसों पे यतीमी है छाई, उठ गया सर से हैदर का साया, रोज़ेदारों क़यामत के दिन हैं, इब्ने मुल्जिम ने हैदर को मारा, रोज़ेदारों क़यामत के दिन हैं, घर में खालिक हैदर को मारा, جانشین پیمبر کو مارا گھر میں خالق حیدر کو مارا جانشین پیمبر کو مارا ہائے سجدے میں سرور کو مارا ہائے سجدے میں سرور کو مارا روزے داروں قیامت کے دن ہیں ابن ملجم نے حیدر کو مارا روزے داروں قیامت کے دن ہیں کیوں نہ روئے یہ وہ غم نہیں ہے شب یہ عاشور سے کم نہیں ہے کیوں نہ روئے یہ وہ غم نہیں ہے شب یہ عاشور سے کم نہیں ہے خلد میں بھی یہ ماتم ہے برپا روزے داروں قیامت کے دن ہیں دل ہلاتے ہیں زینب کے نالے خاک اڑاتے ہیں سب کنبے والے دل ہلاتے ہیں زینب کے نالے خاک اڑاتے ہیں سب کنبے والے اٹھ رہا ہے جنازہ علی کا اٹھ رہا ہے جنازہ علی کا روزے داروں قیامت کے دن ہیں ابن ملجم نے حیدر کو مارا روزے داروں قیامت کے دن ہیں ألا لعنة الله على القوم الظالمين سيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون. Inshallah, brothers and sisters, to address this Majlis A'za, I'd like to request our respected scholar Sayyid Ali Imran. Allah salawat Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali
الفاتحة بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد والثناء لله رب العالمين بارئ الخلائق أجمعين ثم الصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وآله الطاهرين اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد أما بعد فقد قال الله تعالى في كتابه المجيد وقوله الحق بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يوم يحشرهم كأن لم يلبثوا إلا ساعة من النهار يتعارفون بينهم قد خسر الذين كذبوا بلقاء الله وما كانوا مهتدين صلوا على محمد وآل محمد
اللهم صل على محمد wa ali.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. First of all, thanks to the organizers for having me here, and that introduction was not brief, that was pretty long introduction. I don't know what you guys understood from what I'm doing. Usually, by the way, I'm not a very experienced speaker, okay, I'm not a popular speaker either, so usually it's easier to have speak when you have a lecture series, believe it or not, because you can have a topic and you can expand on it over the course of the series. So giving a one-off talk is always difficult, and especially it's difficult for me because, as I said, I don't have a lot of experience. But inshallah, I've prepared something very basic, it's just reminders, nothing complicated, technical, inshallah. And I hope all of us can benefit, and most of these will be reminders to myself before any of you guys, inshallah. During these times, if you're on social media, if you're active on social media, or if you're on different WhatsApp groups or Telegram groups, during the ayam, the days or the nights of the shahadat of Amir al-Mu'mineen, you start seeing this will of Amir al-Mu'mineen starts to spread. People share excerpts from his will. And if you actually pay attention, you may question that, okay, wait, how many wills did Imam Ali have, Usually the concept of will that we have is when you're about to die, okay, I'm about to leave this world, let me write something, let me give a wasiyah to my children, my family, and, it's basically about inheritance, usually, what's going to happen to my property and my money. And that's what we understand to be a will, a wasiyah. But actually, if you look at it historically, the usage of the word wasiyah, it wasn't just something that was uttered during the time of death, okay? So I actually came across this book, it's published in '95. It compiles different wasaya, different wasiyas that were given by different people to different people, and they have nothing to do with dying, okay? I was actually doing research on Jahiliyyah marriage practices. And in this book, you see this mother giving a wasiyah to her daughter now, who's going to her husband's house, in the days of Jahiliyyah. And the things that she's saying, this was called a wasiyah, just a nasiha basically, an advice or a counsel that was given. Yes, it was also given at the time when a person feels that they're about to die. That was also called a wasiyah. So now, when you look at these different wasiyahs of Amir al-Mu'mineen, in Nahj al-Balagha at least, there's actually 4 wills. If you look at the book, right, Nahj al-Balagha, there's 4 wills. I'm just going to divide them up for you so it makes sort of chronological sense which will was first and which was the last, which one was the one he actually said after he was struck, and which one was nothing to do with that. If you look at, so you can divide them into 2. 2 of his wills in Nahj al-Balagha are those which he wrote, or maybe got a scribe to write, after the Battle of Siffin. Okay, Battle of Siffin is roughly 3 years before he was killed, Amir al-Mu'mineen, 3 years before. So he was nowhere near, the attack that happened in year 40 Hijri. Okay, 2 of these wills are letter 24 and letter 31 in Nahj al-Balagha. Letter 24 is a small letter where he's talking about his property and estate, what to do with it afterwards. And letter 31 is to Imam Hassan, which is a very long one, and that's the one that gets shared a lot around this time. Okay, but if you actually look at it historically, this was in year 37 Hijri, 3 years before Imam Ali actually got killed. Now it's possible that the Imam was wondering that, because of after the Battle of Siffin, he probably realized that there's probably a conspiracy to kill me. Okay, it's possible that he must have felt that way, because from the context of the will, you can sort of get a feel of that. That maybe he realized that, okay, someone's going to come and get me. But he lasted for 3 more years. 2 other wills that are recorded in Nahj al-Balagha are, one of them is a sermon, okay, sermon 149. And this begins with, Ya ayyuhan nas. So this seems like he's addressing the people. Okay, the main message in this will is to not do shirk, and to revive and maintain the sunnah of Rasulullah. Okay, that's the message of that. And this last will is the one which is letter 47. Okay, letter 47 is a will which he is saying, based on the text, it seems like he's saying it to Imam Hassan and someone else. We don't know, either it's Imam Hussein or Muhammad bin Hanafiya, because I'm not sure historically if Imam Hussein was even there when Imam Ali was struck. Some reports say he was in Madain, wasn't even in Kufa. Okay. Now this will, letter 47, is recorded in multiple earlier sources as well. Okay, one of the earliest sources we have for the maqtal of Amir al-Mu'mineen that has come to us is from 3rd century Hijri, okay, which is very early, during the times of the earlier Imams. Okay, and this maqtal by Ibn Abi Dunya, he was a Sunni scholar, Sunni historian, and this maqtal is there and it's been published today in Arabic. And this will is also found in that. I want to quote just a statement from this will and then expand on the things that Imam Amir al-Mu'mineen is saying. Before that, the verse that I quoted is talking about Allah gathering all of us, okay, all the people on the Day of Judgment. And these people, or us, we're going to say that it feels like we only spent an hour from the day. Sa'atan min an-nahar. It was just like an hour. We just spent an hour during the day and life ended. Okay? Now, this concept, which is mentioned in the Quran repeatedly, okay, people on the Day of Judgment will say, Ya laytani kuntu turaba. I wish we can go back and become dust again, become part of this life again, so we can relive and fix our mistakes. Amir al-Mu'mineen in this will, this is from letter 47 now, so it's a lengthy one, I'm just quoting this line from it. He says, Usikuma wa jami'a waladi wa ahli wa man balaghahu kitabi. Okay, I sort of counsel you, I advise you to, Imam Hassan is for sure a part of these two pronouns. وَجَمِيعَ وَلَدِينَ, all of my children. وَأَهْلِي, my family. وَمَنْ بَلَغَهُ كِتَابِي, and anyone to whom this word of mine, this writing of mine reaches. So that includes all of us. بِتَقْوَى اللَّهِ, okay, fear Allah. وَنَظْمِ أَمْرِكُمْ, okay, وَنَظْمِ أَمْرِكُمْ, this is the one we're going to focus on. وَصَلَاحِ ذَاتِ بَيْنِكُمْ, and to have good ties between amongst yourselves, okay, your family members, your friends. فَإِنِّي سَمِعْتُ جَدَّكُمَا, for surely I heard your grandfather يقول صَلَاحُ ذَاتِ الْبَيْنِ أَفْضَلُ مِنْ عَامَةِ الصَّلَاةِ وَالصِّيَامِ, maintaining good ties amongst your family members and your friends is better than most of the prayers and the fasts that take place. Okay, this is just one paragraph, and then I recommend you guys to read through this well tonight at least. نَظْمِ أَمْرِكُمْ, okay, نَظْمِ أَمْرِكُمْ, the way it's translated, in this published Ansariyan translation that I have, and other translations that are done, is, have order in your affairs. Okay, order in your affairs. I think that's how these guys, keep your affairs in order. Okay, this is not a wrong translation, but sometimes in Arabic, you need to see how the word was used by the Arabs themselves. Okay, Nazm, they didn't have this concept of organization. They didn't have, what's it called, organization management or whatever classes we took in university, I forgot. I didn't have these sort of concepts. Nazm was used when you would organize the beads of a tasbih together. Okay, that concept of putting the beads together, nazamtu lu'lu'an, right? They would say, I've put the pearls or the beads of a tasbih, of a rosary, together. And that sort of concept would be called nazm, and the verb tense would be used was from nazm. Okay, so what happens when you have nazm? You expect there to be another bead after when you're counting. When you're counting a bead, there's another bead that you're expecting. Okay, the beads are not all over the place. You're not saying, okay, Allahu Akbar here one, and Allahu Akbar another one. No, you're counting it and you're expecting there to be another bead until you're done. Okay, and then it goes again in a circle, right? This is how the word nazm was used. The word amr, okay, because Amir was saying have nazm, have this sort of order in your amr, The word amr in the riwayat also has multiple meanings. One of the popular meanings that you'll see in a hadith when the imams are saying amr, they usually mean walaya or imama, okay? Sometimes the imams might say, does that person know about the amr? Okay, this amr means walaya, does he know about our imama? Okay. This amr is not talking about that. This amr is talking about your day-to-day activities, okay? Umur, plural for amr, over here is umur. To have sort of order in your day-to-day activities. Okay, day-to-day activities. Now, why is the Imam saying this after taqwa Allah? Okay, have fear Allah and have order in your lives. It's hard to speculate, but one could speculate, the challenges that the Imam went through during his lifetime. Okay, if you look at his history, not just his history, but actually the history of his companions and his sort of those who claim to be his followers. If you look at their lives, you can probably get a better understanding of the challenges that the Imam was going through. Okay, last year I did a series called The Fall of the Elite. Okay, the elite were those individuals who were the khawas. Okay, they were special and influential figures around the army of Amir al-Mu'minin, in the army of Amir al-Mu'minin, those who had pledged their allegiance initially to him. Okay, and when you go through their lives, okay, they've done research for more than 60-something people. Okay, 66 or something. And they've sort of analyzed what these individuals did, okay, how they betrayed the Imam. Some of them you're just left like hanging. You're like, what were these guys doing? Okay, Masalan, Shabath bin Ribi'i, this guy is really interesting. He would just bandwagon whenever the Imam was winning, he would be like, yeah, I'm on your side. Whenever it would go back to Muawiyah, yeah, I'm on their side. Then he became from the Khawarij. Then he became, he went to Umar ibn Ziyad and he fought against Imam Hussein. Then he joined Mukhtar. Yani, he's just all over the place. So sometimes he had individuals like this who didn't have order in their lives. They were all over the place. And it feels like this is the first thing that comes out of the Imam's mouth after saying have taqwa. It's like have nadm in your affairs, in the way you live your life. Okay, our life is something that is moving. Okay, it's progressing. We've all learned that we're moving towards kamal. That's how they usually explain it. Moving towards perfection, or we're supposed to be moving towards perfection. Right? When we talk about this progress happening in life, Okay, every moment is supposed to be better than a previous moment, or every day, a second day should be better than the previous day. What does it mean by this, right? The Imam, one of the reports from Imam Sadiq in Ma'ani al-Akhbar, the book is recorded there. I have to be careful quoting the riwayat. I have to tell where it's written and stuff in case it's not true. But anyways, these words are, the content of the words is definitely true. Where Imam Sadiq has been reported to have said, Man istawa yawmahu fahuwa maghboon. Okay? Anyone whose 2 of his days are the same, he has sort of cheated himself. He got cheated. Or in gamer terminology, he got owned. Okay, if you're a gamer, like I was, he got owned basically. You owned yourself. Right? Self-ownage. So you don't do that. You make sure that your 2 days are not the same. Your second day is better. Then the riwayah goes on, and the Imam even says anyone whose second half of the day is worse than the first half, he also cheated himself. Okay. Then he says, Man lam yara ziyada fi nafsihi fahuwa ila nuqsan. Someone who does not see a progress, an incremental change in their lives, in themselves, fi nafsihi, then he is headed towards nuqsan. He's headed towards sort of deficiency and loss. Okay? فَمَنْ كَانَ إِلَى النُّقْصَانِ فَالْمَوْتُ خَيْرٌ لَهُ مِنَ الْحَيَاةِ. Someone who's headed towards nuqsan, loss, then Imam Sadiq is saying that death is better for this person than living. And really when you think about it, that's very true, because what are you living for at that point? Okay, if you're going towards loss, you might as well pray for death. Okay? Now, don't actually go and do that. These are supposed to be statements where he's sort of pointing towards something. Okay, he's sort of it's an admonition. In Arabic, it says tanbih, sort of bringing you to attention that make sure fix up your life. Okay, so based on this tradition, we know that life is something that is moving, and every movement needs to be better than the previous movement. Anything that has sort of movement, motion. How do we talk about our life? We say, bro, I'm too busy, my life's on the run, I'm always on the go, it's moving too fast, I can't believe I was 15 yesterday, where did the time go, where did the life just went so quickly? Okay, so we talk about it and we attribute it with qualities of motion. Okay, it's moving, and we sort of realize that anything that has motion also necessarily has the quality of time, okay, with it. Time and motion go hand in hand, at least according to Islamic philosophy. If you guys are in Waterloo and know some other theory, then let me know. But within Islamic philosophy, wherever there's motion, anything that has movement, it necessarily has the quality of time. Okay? So now your time, now you can start talking about your time in relation to the motion that is happening in your life, and you can qualify and attribute certain qualities to the time that is also a property of your life. Meaning like what? You can now start talking about the concept of time being wasted. Okay? Or I don't have enough time. Or I need to make time. Okay, where is time? You can't point it to me outside. But you can talk about it as if it's very real. It's outside, and you can make time. You can play with your time. You can save time. You can invest in time. You can do all of these things with time. Okay? Yet, it's almost like we almost become heedless of it at times. Okay? Now, one of the biggest tragedies that we have, okay, and the elders will attest to this, and I guess I can attest to it too. I'm almost done with my youth, my years. Is that, you regret the time that when you look back into your life, okay, especially your teenage years from 15 to, I would say 22, 24 even. When you look back, right, my elders are here, definitely, I'm sure you can back me up on this. You wish you could go back to that prime time that you were very active, okay, you had the energy, and you could have done so many things. Okay, likewise with me. Okay, I look back to my early 20s and my teenage. I'm like, oh my God, I could have done this differently, right? But likewise, even when you go older, that doesn't mean that you're not, now you're prone from wasting time. No, even when you get older, you can still be prone to wasting and mismanaging your time. Okay, and it results in the mismanagement of your life. Okay, you end up wasting your life. So this is not something that is limited to just the youth. It affects everybody. The imams are not necessarily talking to little kids, okay, teenagers. They're talking to the companions who are 30, 40, sometimes even older than the ai''imah, okay? And they're addressing these guys. So it's not something that is only maintained for younger kids. And perhaps this is why the statement from Amir al-Mu'mineen, it says, Al-fursa tamurru marra as-sahab, that opportunities in your life pass away like clouds. if you just think about the analogy that's being done here, right? What happens when you look at the clouds? You look at it and you're like, yeah, this cloud's not moving. Okay, when you're on a plane, for example, when you're looking down at the clouds, they seem pretty still. You know, they're not moving. You think they're not moving. But if you get busy for 5 minutes even, and you do some stuff, you look back up and either the cloud is gone completely, or it's definitely moved a little bit, okay? And this is how life gets wasted. It's the opportunities in life, they get wasted like this, okay? And subsequently your life, basically, right? Because you become heedless of it. And you look back and you're like, oh, wait, what happened? All that time God spent, basically. So life is precious, and Amir al-Mu'mineen is talking about maintaining and making sure that this life of yours that you have some sort of order of it. In order to understand the value of the life that we have, and you know, the time that we're going to talk about in the next few minutes, we need to understand certain qualities of life itself. Okay, life itself. One of the riwayah says that only a prophet and a imam, basically only a ma'soom, can understand the true value of time, value of life, or whatever is remaining of it. Okay? Couple of qualities. Number one is that life is limited. Our time here and life here is very limited. Okay? I don't know what the age, what was the term for like people dying, like what's the age group? Pardon? Lifespan, yeah. I don't know what the lifespan is here, and I've forgotten, I haven't been here in a while. Maybe 70, 80, I'm guessing, 80 something. Okay, other parts of the world, if you're 60, you're lucky, 70, you're pushing it now. But let's say 80, at the very best, if you're Ayatollah Safi Gul Paygani, then 101. Okay, mashallah, some of these maraji are, if you look at Ayatollah Wahid Khurasani, I don't know how he walks to give his Kharij classes, and almost 90, almost 100, sorry. So, if you're at, that's basically at 100, okay, at the very most. So it's limited. So something that is limited, you should already know that it's going to have a lot of value. You have to be careful with how you use it, okay? You're unsure about its future. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. You don't know what's going to happen the moment I come off of this pulpit, okay? We have this famous scholar, he passed away, Maulana Zishan al-Jawadi. Maybe some of you guys know. Okay, I was a kid. I didn't know him too well, but they say that he passed away when he came off the pulpit, I believe, after reciting the Majlis of Ashura. He passed away when he came off the pulpit. Right? So you don't know what's going to happen. You're unsure about his future. This doesn't mean you don't plan for it. Okay? You plan for it, but you're also not sure what would happen. Okay? You can't pause it. You can't pause your life, even though we wish we could. Let me just pause this bit for a moment, and I'll get back to it later. I'm in a stressful situation. I have an exam tomorrow, bro. Let me just pause it. Let me go play my Nintendo Wii or whatever the latest gaming consoles are, and I'll get back to it. No, you can't do that. Okay, it doesn't enjoy that quality. It doesn't have that quality. Okay, you can't repeat something. Okay, this is perhaps the greatest regrets we have in life, right? We make mistakes and we can't go back in time and repeat it. Allah give us another opportunity. We'll do it again. This time we won't get it wrong. Okay, you can't replace it. Okay, the time that has been spent. Okay, the time that you wasted. You can't replace it with something of equal value. Okay, you've spent it. That's it, it's gone. Okay? You can't save it for later use. It's not a game where you can save it and say, you know what, I'll save it here on this checkpoint and I'll come use it again later on. You can't put it in a storage or a public storage or these companies that are here that have these public storage. You can't do that. Okay, you can't do that. And you can't buy and sell it. You can buy and sell it. Even though Allah in the Quran has used certain metaphors to say, why are you selling a part of your life? Okay, He has used these metaphors, but in reality, so they're metaphors. In reality, you can't sell or buy it. This is your life. You got one chance at it, and you better get it good. Okay, you better get it right. Okay, without knowing these qualities of life, we are going to be unable to have any sort of nadam. Okay, nadam, the moment you can start acting on it and having some sort of order is if you first understand the nature of your life and subsequently the nature of your time. Okay, because all these qualities that I mentioned are also true for time. Same thing, you can't repeat it, you can't pause it, you can't do anything. Okay. You guys might say, like, what do I need to manage my time for? Or my life, like it's already being managed. I'm already, if I'm working 9-to-5 job or if I'm in university, if you have a 9-to-5 job, you're pretty organized. You wake up, 7, 8 in the morning, you get to work. I'm guessing it's not that much traffic here as Toronto 401. It's probably wake up a little bit later maybe. and you come back by 5, 6 o'clock, and then that's it. Like, yeah, my time is managed, and then that's it. I just sit at home. Or if I'm in university, okay, you guys are in Waterloo, so I'm not gonna mess with you guys too much. If you guys are from Waterloo, I went to York, so there's no intellectual competition, right? But if you're in university, right, you're gonna be like, wait, I'm managing my time. My goal here is to get good marks and get a job at RIM. I don't know if it still exists or it doesn't exist. It's done. That's my goal in life, and I'm achieving it. And my time is being managed enough. Even if I'm pulling an all-nighter, at least I know I need to pull an all-nighter. At least I know that I need to pull an all-nighter, and it's planned. It's in my schedule. I gotta pull an all-nighter with my Tim Hortons. Look, guys, that would be perfectly well if we were to say that this is actually the end-all goal in life. Okay? If we were to say that, you're right, yeah. And if you see your colleagues around you, that is essentially their lives. Okay? When I used to work in the CAA, with a big company, these people would be so scared of getting fired, right? Always fear of getting fired. Like, why? You realize like their whole life is that. Once they get fired, that's it. They can't go to the pub. They can't go to the club. They can't do anything. Their whole life is surrounding around work and their friends at work. Their parties around that. Their drinking is around that. Their other sort of relationships are around that. So they're always scared of getting fired. Alhamdulillah, not only do we not get fired, but we don't have any fear either. Okay? Because that's not what we're attached to. That's not what we're attached to. If I get fired, inshallah, I'll get another job. Okay, I'll get another job. Religion had come to sort of point us to these lofty goals. Okay, loftier goals than these goals that we have right now. These were meant to be means. Okay, work in the riwayah has been described as a jihad. Okay, so there's no escape from working. You have to work. The problem is when it becomes sort of the end goal of life, and this is what I'm going to do, and you become so into it. Okay, 45, 50 hours per week, and then that's it. That's all I'm going to do and make money, and then by the time I'm 70, I'm still trying to figure out like, okay, my money, is it coming or not? Is the pension coming or not? And that's it, you're done. Life is done by the end of it, right? My point here is this. If we can look at the loftier goals that Islam has come and provided us, or any religion, a lot of religions have similar goals. One of the major goals in Islam is ubudiyyah, okay? Servitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, His worship, okay? Worship in the general sense, where the work also becomes worship, studying also becomes, all these things become worship. Okay, ubudiyyah, that is sort of the ultimate goal. And that can never be actually attained because it's an ongoing process. Underneath that, vertically speaking, there are different goals that you can set in order to attain or become part of that sort of higher purpose that you have, okay? Because sometimes what we do is we start looking at goals horizontally. We say, my work is one goal and ubudiyyah is a different goal. Okay, once I'm done with this, I'll worry about this. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. Everything needs to be connected. Okay, everything needs to be connected. Sometimes you can have a niyyah of doing good and you can hit 2-3 stones, 2-3 birds with one stone. Okay, that's how we need to look at our life and our purpose here. And before we can do any sort of nadam, we need to have goals that are a lot more clear. Okay, I'm going to mention maybe 2 or 3 sort of concrete things that these are just based on experience. There's probably a lot more than this you guys can think of. But things that I've sort of, over the years, I felt that are important to just mention. Okay, either we're lacking in them, or sometimes some of these are actually not even goals. We don't even think about them, right? There's 3 steps to having any sort of nadam in your affairs. One is setting goals themselves. Okay. Second is to prioritize these goals, and third is to schedule them. Okay, the scheduling has to be where the implementation comes. Unless you can't do it, you're not going to have any nadam in your life. So let's start with the first stage, which is setting actual goals. There can be a lot of goals. Okay, you can say, this is my goal, this is my... I'm going to mention 3 general goals and maybe speak a little bit about them. Number 1 is the goal of worship. Now, worship, as I mentioned, could be understood in 2 different meanings. One is in the general sense, and one in a very specific sense. The general sense is essentially anything that you do, qurbatan ilallah, anything. Okay? You're sitting here, this is worship. You're listening to me, this is worship. What I'm doing is worship. Driving, you coming here on your car was worship. Very general sense of, definition over there. That's not what I'm talking about though, okay? I'm saying that, look, there should be a goal in, when I say goal right now, I mean you guys need to write these things down when you go home, okay? When you're planning these goals. One of the goals in your life, in your weekly schedule, needs to be private time and private worship, okay? And I don't just mean the 5 daily prayers. Inshallah, that's done with. Like, we don't need to discuss that. Okay? That is a given. But what about all, like, if you have a mafati, I'm sure you do, look at that book, look at the size of the book, and look at how much of it we actually do from it, okay? Maybe I'm judging you guys, maybe all of you guys do it, but at least I didn't do anything when I was, growing up. And I would just look at them like, yeah. I would debate with the Sunnis and say, we have these du'as. I never read in my life, That's how we are, we talk big, but when it comes to action, we actually haven't done anything, right? Brothers, we have Sahifa Sajjadiyah, what do you have? We have Joshan Kabir, what do you have? Brother, do you understand Sahifa Sajjadiyah? Like, no, I've actually never read it, right? That becomes a trend amongst the younger guys. Like, we want to defend ourselves and we come and say these things, but we never actually spend time in doing these things ourselves, right? So have this goal of worship. Munajat, the du'as, okay? If you can't do it individually, at least you have a community, right? Today, for example, from 7:15, the du'as and the munajat were going on, okay? These a'mal of Laylatul Qadr, for example, which are also tonight and, day after tomorrow, these are done, in the riwayat, we don't have anything about doing the a'mal together. We don't have anything, okay? I mean, it's silent. It doesn't say do it individually, it doesn't say do it in congregation. But the scholars of akhlaq basically, they have recommended over and over again to do them in congregation. Because doing something in congregation has extra reward. Yeah, you may be an exception. Some of the people have exceptions. They shouldn't be doing it in congregation. They should be actually doing it privately, okay? But for a community, okay, a community like this, for example, definitely there is value to coming together and doing these amal together. Sometimes if you're at home, you may not even have the energy to go past one dua. Okay, Joshan Kabir is a long dua. Okay, it's a long dua. Maybe you can't do all of those 1,000 names alone. You need the support and the motivation when you're coming here. People are reading, you're also participating in it, and you're able to get through the dua and the munajat all together collectively. Okay. But other than that, you need to make sure that you have time in your weekly schedule for some sort of worship. Okay. When it comes to prioritizing, I'll mention what needs to be prioritized. Okay. Your first goal needs to be Salatul Layl or no? No, that shouldn't be your first goal. Okay. Salatul Layl, you can worry about it later on. That's the first thing that I felt is extremely important. That is sort of missing from our lives. It's not part of our schedule. It's not part of our goal. Like, it's not a goal in our life to make time for worshiping. We pray the 5 times and that's it. Right? I've memorized masalan the Maghrib dua and I'm good. I'm good to go till the rest of my life. Second point I want to mention, or a second goal that we need to have, and when I say goal, I'm repeating again, an active, conscious goal, okay? Not just, like I do this. No, consciously know that this is the goal that you're trying to achieve. Is spending time with family and friends, okay? When I say spending time with family and friends, I don't mean if you're married, you come home from work and, your wife is there and you're here, and you say, yeah, we're in the same room. I'm spending time with my wife, she's here. And the wife says the same thing, like my husband's there. Usually the wives complain, actually. The husbands are fine with, the wives being far. But that is not spending time with your family. That is not, and the wives know this very well. I'm married too, by the way, so I know this as well, okay? Just saying that I'm in the same room as you is not enough. You need to actually make it a goal that I need to spend time with my wife, with my parents, okay? Parents are completely neglected as they grow older. So interesting. Every time Allah says, don't do shirk, then He says, وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا. Right after shirk, He keeps mentioning, do ihsan to your parents. That's a whole different lecture, right? That's a whole different lecture, but this is completely neglected from our communities. Why? Because of the society that's outside. The society that we're growing up doesn't care about parents. They don't care. I used to work with an 18-year-old, 20-year-old. He would just very proudly say, I'm tired of my mother, man. And he just left her and he moved to Mississauga or somewhere. Like, I'm tired of her, tired of living with her. And that would just be so shocking, how can someone just do this? But they really don't have this sort of moral sense of how disgusting this is. They don't have this sense. And when we grow up in the society, we definitely get affected. Of course we get affected, right? Some of the riwayat say that spending time with your family is better than doing i'tiqaf in Masjidun Nabi. Doing i'tiqaf in Masjidun Nabi. Some of the scholars say you can only do i'tiqaf in 3-4 masjids, one of them being Masjidun Nabi. Some of the scholars. Today, some of them say you can do it in Masjid al-Jami as well. But the reward of that, the Prophet is saying, or these riwayat are saying, that spending time with your family has more reward than doing that. And by the way, why didn't you go to the thing? If you look at the same sermon, the wasiyah that I quoted, it says, Salahu dhatil bayn afdalu min aamati salati was siyam. Enjoining and making sure you have good ties amongst yourself is better than most of the prayers and the siyam, psalm that takes place, fasting that takes place. Okay. If you have family here, if you have extended family here, make it a goal to meet one another. Okay? To meet one another, come out, invite, become a host for your extended family. Invite them over. Okay, maybe they should invite you over. Maybe go out for like a breakfast, lunch, dinner or something. If it's too expensive, say let's pitch in some money and come out and let's do this together. Okay, it's extremely important. Some of the friends that I grew up with over here, they have extended family here, and you see them and they don't see their cousin and uncle and for like years. And it's unbelievable. Like for me, it's really shocking that this is your uncle. Like when I say uncle, like your mom's brother. Yeah, he's my uncle. Like when was the last time? Maybe 2 years ago. I haven't seen him in the same city, man. In the same city. I can understand if they're in Pakistan, you can't get a flight to go to Pakistan. That's difficult. At least call them at that point. But over here, man, you're in the same city. Sometimes they're in the same like vicinity. And these are real examples. I have like people in my mind I'm thinking of right now, right? That actually happens. It happens, and it's unfortunate that it's happening. When it comes to friends, okay, this is maybe more true for the younger guys. When I was in my teenage, we would make it a point to meet up every weekend, every other weekend. Okay, I know back in the days here, there used to be this, the famous house with all the guys from University of Waterloo. Right, that was good. I heard a lot of stories. I think I even came once or twice to it. That was something that was good. Okay, I understand this is a university town. I don't know how the dynamics work in this community. But at least in Toronto, for example, we would make it a point to come and visit each other every other week at the bare minimum, sometimes more than that. Okay, and what would we do in these gatherings? We wouldn't smoke shisha. Okay, there's none of the shisha gatherings, and usually the Arabs are famous for that. Pakistanis maybe not so much. Indian Pakistanis not so much. But I have a lot of Lebanese friends, so I know. No, something that you can come to the discussion, meet together, and ignite a topic, ignite the flame. Even if it's controversial, just share it, discuss it, talk about it. Say, look, what is this issue that's happening? Talk about local politics. Okay, talk about the government, like the government over here. These elections that are happening, for example. You should know what's going on in your city, in your province, in your country. Okay, you should know what's going on. Talk about these topics. Talk about something that is, has some sort of benefit. Don't talk about celebrities and this game is the latest game that's out. These things are good. Look, I was a gamer, okay, so I'm not going to tell anyone not to play games. But there's a limit to it. Okay, there's a limit. You need to have some sort of balance. And that is that's not going to take you anywhere. You're dead years from now. You're going to say, why was I wasting time playing all of these games? Okay, this is one of my regrets. This is a secret I'm sharing. Why was I wasting so much time playing Counter-Strike, for example, right? But this is what happens. So one of the goals that needs to be taken into consideration is spending time with family and friends, productive time. Okay, productive time. Not just coming home and saying, yeah, my wife is here, my mother is here, and you're all watching TV. That's not what I mean over here. Third point I want to mention, or a third goal that I believe should be a goal, an active and conscious goal, and I think this is probably the most important one, because once you get this one down, the other two will, I believe, will automatically sort of get fixed or reoriented, is religious education and religious learning. Okay, this, brothers and sisters, is the most important one in my experience. Okay, I'm just speaking based on my experiences. Okay, what do I mean by this? What do I mean by religious education? Everybody knows the usul ad-din, the shahada and the adhan no, that's not what I mean. We need to first of all realize the context that we are living in today. Okay, the context that we're living in today is, to put it very bluntly, is a secular government and a very liberal government. Okay, one of probably the most liberal ones that we have in the world, actually, especially with the whole, recent gender debates and stuff happening. Like, that's very few countries have that sort of discussion going on. Okay. When you look online, okay, I'm very active online. When you look online and you look at the number of youth becoming apostates, okay, Sunni or Shia, even Shia, okay, this girl from Houston that has this, Murtad organization, I don't know what it's called. I don't know, it's a very famous one in America. She was a Shia Sayyid girl, okay, from Houston. She has this organization, right? They've all become apostates. When you go and read their arguments, you realize a lot of them had issues during their teenage years that they were unable to address, okay? Either because the communities that they were going to were not addressing those issues on an academic level, okay? So their foundations were weak to begin with. Or maybe they have some other issues that the scholar, for example, someone had bigged up a scholar a lot. This scholar is a'lam masalan in this city. So he knows everything, So this person would go and ask a question, and actually this scholar actually didn't know anything about this topic. But now because he's been put into this position, he feels he has the need to answer, and he sort of misanswers and, gets a wrong information to the person, and then they go and realize like, yo, this scholar was just making stuff up. And all the scholars are therefore like this. They're just making stuff up. Okay? Or another issue that people have is to do with morality. Okay, when you look at and read the Islamic history, some of the things are, for an average youth today, is going to be really uncomfortable to read that stuff. Okay, what do you mean the Prophet married someone at the age of Aisha? Okay, what do you mean, apostates were killed? What do you mean this happened with Bani Qurayza? What do you mean? All these questions that are thrown out by Orientalists, the average youth, I'm telling you, most of them will not be able to, first of all, even feel comfortable themselves, and then even address the question. And if you keep insisting that, no, this is the truth, but we don't have any answer for it, that's one of the reasons why many of the youth today are becoming apostates. Apostates, and that's next level. Okay, they're leaving, and it takes a lot of guts to leave a religion, by the way. Something that you were brought up with from a young age, and you have the guts and the courage to leave it at the time you're 20-something. It takes a lot of courage. But these people are so convinced that they do it. Okay, they do it. Meaning that something is not correct. The foundations were not correct to begin with. Okay. In the riwayah, we have this chapter in Usul al-Kafi on tafaqquh fi deen. Tafaqquh is from fiqh, meaning having deep insight in religion. One of the traditions is really scary. It says, I believe it's Imam Sadiq or Imam Baqir, one of them. He says, "Man lam yatafaqqah fi deen Allah, lam yanzur Allahu ilayhi yawm al-qiyamah." Someone who does not do tafaqquh in the religion of Allah, in religious matters, Allah will not look at him or her on the day of judgment. Okay? When you look at the traditions in this chapter, the tafaqquh fi din Allah is not limited to just the scholars or some group of students. No. Imam is talking to companions who were, for example, merchants in the bazaar. Okay, Hisham bin Hakam, famous theologian, he was a silk seller or something. He would sell silk, that was his business. Okay? Or some of these guys were cameleers. They would rent out camels. They're average people. Okay, most of them were merchants. Most of them, if you look at the books of Rijal, their last names are always something to do with their trade. He's selling vinegar, selling silk, selling clothing, selling, renting out camels. Imam is speaking to these individuals and saying, look, you need to do tafaqquh fi din Allah. It's not talking to some Hawza student or some scholar, from some other sect. Here, the Imam is saying someone who does not do tafaqquh, Allah will not look at them on the day of judgment. There's a lot of discussion on what it means for Allah to not look at someone on the day of judgment. Okay, two interpretations that are given, I'm sure there's more, is that someone who hasn't done tafaqquh there's basically nothing to look at. They're empty. Okay, they're void. There's nothing for Allah to look at. Okay, metaphorically speaking, because they haven't learned anything. They don't know anything. Ilm is one of the things that sort of gives you progression in life. When they haven't done tafaqquh, it's as if Allah has nothing to look at. Okay, you don't have anything to show. That's one interpretation. The second interpretation, which is, I believe, is a little bit more valid, is that the tafaqquh fi din Allah becomes a preliminary to make sure you don't make mistakes and don't commit sins. Okay. When you don't have tafaqquh, you end up making these mistakes and sins, and then you're basically darkened. Okay? Your soul is darkened, your heart is darkened. And in that sense, Allah will not look at you because, once again, it's darkness. Okay, it's darkness. Metaphorical concept is hard to really understand. What do you mean Allah doesn't look? Well, these are interpretations that some of the scholars have provided. Okay, the famous riwayah that we have, Talabul Ilm Farida, that all of us have heard, prophetic narration in the Sunni books and the Shia books, tawatur. We have 100% for sure the Prophet said this. Okay, every word in this riwayah has a discussion. What does talab mean? What does ilm mean? And what does farida mean? Because farida, we may understand it to be wajib. Okay, but is it wajib shar'i? Like, okay, I gotta do it. Some of them have said, no, this is a command of the intellect. The intellect tells you need to seek knowledge. The Prophet is just coming and pointing towards the same verdict that the intellect has given to you. Okay, when it comes to ilm, talabul ilm, majority of the scholars, okay, from ancient times till today, have said this ilm over here means religious knowledge. Okay, knowledge of God, knowledge of His sifat and His traits, the anbiya, basically religious knowledge. One or two ulama had difference of opinion. Sayyid Mutahari had a difference of opinion. Ayatollah Arafi has an opinion where they say no, ilm over here includes all of them. But I'm just saying the majority have said that no, this is religious knowledge. Okay, this is religious knowledge. Today we have two issues amongst the youth, at least. Okay, elders, alhamdulillah, they're sabit on their deen. The youth are the ones who are always moving about, figuring out what to do. You have two types of issues. One of them are within internal issues within religion that people have questions. How can this be true? How can apostasy law be true? How can slavery exist in Islam? Okay, what's going on? One is this. Other are more, from an externalist perspective, where people are saying, wait, what is the purpose of religion altogether? Okay, who says there has to be a law for every single thing that's out there? Where did you come up with this? Okay, who said the prophet, God even has to send a prophet? Okay, what is the role of religion in my life? What can religion do for me? Okay, these are the type of questions that are being asked and being thought about today. So unless and until the foundations are not solidified, these issues are always going to be there, and there's always going to be danger of one of us slipping. This needs to become a goal. Okay, you need to harass the scholars that you have access to come and teach you some of these foundational tools so you don't fall into issues. One of the biggest challenges that I've seen and I've faced is that when you go and study a little bit in Qom, you know so many things, but you can't address it to the audience because you're just thinking, man, this person doesn't know basic Arabic. Okay, he doesn't know basic understanding of the fiqh, not the ahkam. Fiqh is a different subject. Okay, basic stuff. Sayyid Mutahari, rahmatullah, he has his introduction to Islamic sciences. Okay, he wrote this for the general audience, so at least the ulama can have a proper dialogue with the audience, okay, with the layman. But we haven't gotten to that stage. Okay, most of us, we haven't even figured out our Arabic. If you go to the Ahl Sunnah mosques, they have regular Arabic classes. Okay, a lot of them have regular Arabic classes. Doesn't have to be intense. You don't need to become, some jahiliyyah poet from the time. Just basic ability to be able to read the text and understand the Quran. Okay, how can you say this is my book and this is i'jaz, it's a miraculous book, and you're not able to understand it, right? It's actually funny. It's actually very funny if you think about it, right? And this results in us believing in our whole faith in taqleed, which is a huge danger. Okay, our whole faith is now dependent on taqleed. The only thing you're supposed to do taqleed on are the ahkam. Even there, it was just an option. Okay, even there, it was just an option. You were supposed to do ijtihad, but you couldn't, so they said do taqleed. But when it comes to aqaid, it was never an option. All the fatwa, read all the fatwa. They say you need to reach to this piece of information with certainty. You can't reach certainty with taqleed. That's the nature of taqleed. It just gives you dhann, speculation. You're not sure whether it's correct or not. Okay. So have this as one of the goals, as part and parcel of your life. Have this. Now, when it comes to prioritizing these different sub goals within these general goals, know your capacity. Okay, know your capacity. One of the, I believe this is from Amir al-Mu'mineen, he says, إِيَّاكَ وَالْإِتِّكَالِ عَلَى الْمُنَى فَإِنَّهَا بَضَائِدُ النَّوْكَى. Okay, be careful on having high hopes. Okay, because high hopes are something that fools sort of stick onto. Okay, if you're a fool, ahmaq, okay, you're going to have these crazy hopes. Okay, so you might have a goal saying, look, one of my goals in worship is that, I need to be able to do Salatul Layl. I want to be able to do these little many things. But you prioritize and saying, from tomorrow, inshallah, I want to wake up for Salatul Layl and forever I want to be praying it. Okay, guarantee you, if you do it, maybe 3 days. Okay, guarantee. Tried and tested, by the way. Okay, tried and tested. 3 days and you'll be done after that. Then no, okay, I got work in the morning, I got school in the morning. No, who's telling you to put it on number one? You know, you can put it at the end. You know, maybe 5 years from now. Give yourself 5 years. But in order to get to that, you need to prioritize your other acts of worship. Okay, add in that extra, you know, small dua, for example. On the weekend, add in this extra, masan, salat that's mustahab for that day, for example. Add these little things over the course of years. Inshallah, you'll develop the ability to get to those higher stages. Same with family and friends. Okay, don't always be going around chilling with your friends and family. Okay, there's some time for yourself as well that you need to maintain. Some brothers and sisters go the other way. Okay, all the time they're with their friends. Okay, that's not something that's balanced. When it comes to education, okay, don't say, okay, tomorrow, inshallah, you know, Sayyid Ali gave this speech. One of our goals is going to be education. Tomorrow we're going to pick up Tafsir al-Mizan. Brothers and sisters, Tafsir al-Mizan was not written for an average audience. It was not. Heavily coded because it's translated into English, parts of it. But it was not written, believe it or not, for an average audience. There's a lot of presumptions in that book, in al-Mizan, philosophy, grammatical discussions, historical discussions, that an average person has no clue about. Okay? And I did this. I quoted a passage from al-Mizan, some of the brothers in my center. I said, what does this mean? What does this paragraph mean in English? And they don't know, because you can't know. This is something that is based on a science altogether. Okay, so pick something easy. Okay, pick something easy. Okay, if you have a scholar, that's even better. It's ideal. Okay, if you don't have a scholar, pick something easy. Get a suggestion from a scholar. Which book should we do? And go about doing it in that sense. Okay. The last thing I want to mention is the most important. Without it, you won't be able to do any of this. Is the actual scheduling. Okay. Now I know in the West, you know, everybody has this complaint that we don't have time, which I don't buy. Okay. You can't lie to me. I lived here. I did the same jobs. Went to the same university stuff. Look, brothers and sisters, we have time. Okay, we have time. Yes, we're not expecting you to become, you know, a marja, ayatullah bahjaz. We're not expecting anyone to do that. Okay, but you have time. Okay, even if you come to work at 7, let's say, you sleep at 10, let's say, 11. Some people sleep 11:30, for example. During the weekdays, you have at least 15 hours. Okay, what ends up happening with us is that we come home from work. Okay, and we come home and because we don't have any goals, we don't actually have anything planned for those 3 hours that I'm going to be awake. Okay, we come home and we say, okay, let's go with the flow. What's going to happen? Okay, that's what ends up happening. We come home, we're tired, we just lay down, you know, do something, and let's go watch TV. We don't actually have anything to do. Okay, this is the time where you need to schedule these things that I've mentioned. Okay, the goals that we've achieved, you know, written down. We need to schedule these in. Okay. On the weekdays, if you're tired, something simple. Do something simple on that day. Okay, read an easy book, for example. Spend extra time with your wife, for example, or with your husband, for example. Okay, if you want to do the education thing, if you're not married and stuff, if you're living on campus, okay, spend some time reading something. Okay, learning something. Learning a tool is more crucial than just reading something. Okay, some of the books are not bedtime books. Okay, some of the books that the scholars say they're not bedtime books. I'm going to read, you know, Al-Mizan, for example, right before I sleep. That's not a bedtime book, right? On the weekends, alhamdulillah, we have time. Sunday, we have time. You know, even if you have to do groceries and stuff, you're not doing groceries every week. It's expensive here. And people usually do it, you know, once a month, maybe twice a month. Weekends are a perfect time to plan. Okay, plan ahead. Plan ahead and know this weekend is coming. This is what I need to do. This is what I need to do. If, you know, the community is ready and the scholars are also willing, and vice versa. Scholars are also ready and the community is willing to do it. For example, definitely if you spend every weekend during the course of a year or two with basic Arabic grammar, you'll be able to read Arabic. You'll be able to read Arabic. When I was in Qom in my first year, we did this very thin Arabic grammar book, very basic. It gets you to, you know, gets you a push start. I was with another friend from Toronto. He was also there. And I still remember I was on the second floor of my school and I was just leaning against the wall and he passed by and he's like, what's wrong? I'm just wondering, for the 15 years that I was growing up in my mosque, how come no one ever taught us this? Okay, how come no one, because it wasn't rocket science at the end of the day. It was actually pretty easy when I did it. I was like, okay, this is not that difficult. Because the grammatical stuff, it's difficult when you go in depth, but the general stuff is not difficult. If you spend, you know, 2 hours per week, just on the weekends, get a scholar to teach you, Okay, you need to harass the scholars, by the way. Okay, sometimes scholars won't do it. They'll think that you're not ready. Tell them you're ready. Okay, they'll come and teach you. By the end of a year or two, you'll be able to read basic Arabic and look at the benefit you're going to get of that. Okay, now not only will it benefit you, the scholar can now come and discuss with you at a much higher level. Inshallah, this was the speech for tonight. We're going to, namaz salat is coming up soon too. We'll do some masaib, inshallah. Sallallahu alaykum Ya Ahl Bayt Nubuwwah Sallallahu alaykum Ya Ahl Bayt Nubuwwah ومعدن الرسالة ومختلف الملائكة ومحبط الوحي وخزان العلم ومنتهى الحلم. May Allah's peace and blessings be upon you, O household of prophethood. May Allah's peace and blessings be upon you. It was in your homes the angels would descend, day in and day out. Sallallahu alayka ya Amir al-Mu'mineen. Sallallahu alayka ya awwal madlumin. Sallallahu alayka ay Shaheed. May Allah's peace and blessings be upon you, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, the first oppressed Imam, the Imam who went through so much after the demise of the Holy Prophet. Let's take our hearts to the city of Kufa. Asbagh ibn Nubata, the companion of Amir al-Mu'mineen, he narrates he was outside the door of Amir al-Mu'mineen. All the people were gathered outside the house, crying and waiting to hear from the doctors checking up on Amir al-Mu'mineen. Imam al-Mujtaba comes out and tells the people to go away. Asbagh ibn Nubata gets permission from Imam al-Mujtaba to come inside the house. He sees the Imam laying on his bed. The toll of the poison had taken its toll on the body of Imam Ali. He says, I could not tell between the cloth that was folded around Amir al-Mu'mineen's forehead and the color of his face was so yellow one could not tell the difference between the two. One of the physicians comes and checks upon Amir al-Mu'mineen. He checks up on the wound. He tells the Imam, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, if you have a last will, please write it now. You do not have much longer to live. Amir al-Mu'mineen calls his children one by one. Imam al-Mujtaba, Muhammad ibn al-Hanafiya. He calls all of them one by one. Some of the reports mention Zainab Salamullahi alayha comes besides her father, he begins to give his wasiyah to her. Imagine the state of Zainab salamullahi alayha, looking at her father standing besides him, not being able to do anything to treat his wound. Ya Ali, I don't know what was more difficult for Zainab salamullahi alayha. The cry of Zainab was heard, wa Muhammadan wa Aliya wa Husayna بأبي أنتم وأمي ونفسي وأهلي ومالي وأسرتي يا لرسول الله. Allah, we ask you to please accept this qaleel ibadat of ours tonight. Oh Allah, we ask you to please forgive all of our sins tonight. Oh Allah, we ask you to please help all the oppressed Muslims wherever they are. Oh Allah, we ask you to please assist all of those who are helping the cause of Islam. Oh Allah, we know the solution to all of our problems is the hastening of Imam al-Mahdi. Ya Allah, please hasten the reappearance of our Imam and enable us to be one of his close companions, inshallah. Rahimallahu man qara al-Fatiha ma'a as-salawat.
Ya Ali, 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 Ya Ali.
The Wali of Allah, the Wasi of Rasul, the Wali of Allah, the Wasi of Rasul, the Wali of Allah, the Wasi of Rasul, the Wali of Allah, the Wasi of Rasul. We lost today, we lost today. Ya Ali, 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 Ya Ali. Kufa can't forget that sajda. 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 Took Ali's life, but he's alive. Took Ali's life, but he's alive. Ya Ali, 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 Ya Ali. A black storm hit the walls of Kufa. A black storm hit the walls of Kufa. A black storm got hit the walls of Kufa. A black storm hit the walls of Kufa. The angels cried out, Ya Ali, 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 Ya Ali.
Ya Ali, Ya Ali, Ya Ali, Ya Ali,
علي يا علي
Ali, Ya Ali,
علي يا علي ومحمدا ومصيبتا ومحمدا ومصيبتا سجدے میں ہوا قتل مرتضی ومحمدا مصیبتا ومحمدا و مصیبتا سجدے میں ہوا قتل مرتضیٰ زینب حضی کش میں ہے پڑی بی بی آسبی روتی ہے کھڑی زینب حضی کش میں ہے پڑی بی بی آسبی روتی ہے کھڑی وا محمد کی ان میں ہے صدا سجدے میں ہوا قتل مرتضیٰ وا محمد وا مصیبتا وا محمد وا مصیبتا سجدے میں ہوا قتل مرتضیٰ بے پدر ہوئی زینب حضی روتے ہیں ملک انبیاء سبھی بے پدر ہوئی زینب حضی روتے ہیں ملک انبیاء سبھی ماتم علی کا شور ہے بپا سجدے میں ہوا قتل مرتضیٰ وا محمدا وا مصیبتا وا محمدا وا مصیبتا سجدے میں ہوا قتل مرتضیٰ زلزلے میں ہے قبر مصطفیٰ کانپتی ہے آج لحد فاطمہ زلزلے میں ہے قبر مصطفیٰ کانپتی ہے آج لحد فاطمہ اہل آسماں کرتے ہیں بکا سجدے میں ہوا قتل مصطفیٰ یا محمد وا مصیبتا وا محمدا وا مصیبتا سجدے میں ہوا قتل مصطفیٰ شور و شین ہے آج جہان میں آندھی ہے چلی آج کوفے میں شور و شین ہے آج جہان میں آندھی ہے چلی آج کوفے میں جبرائیل کی آتی ہے صدا سجدے میں ہوا قتل مرتضیٰ وا محمدا مصیبتا وا محمدا وا مصیبتا سجدے میں ہوا قتل مرتضیٰ علی یا علی علی یا علی علی یا علی محمد وآل محمد صلوات
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد جزاك الله احسنتم
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الله أكبر الله